Hello Lolas, welcome back to my channel guys. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell to be a part of the notification squad. And yeah, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, all that great jazz. So I am here with baby Zende. And Zende is the, oh my gosh, Kent Sculpt by Claire Teller. Painted by me. You know what I just realized? He needs hair too. Like, I got so many bald babies in here. And his head would literally probably take me like a few days to root. Like, he has a really small head. You know what I realized about rooting though? So a baby head can be like the same size, like look the same size. The measurements can be the same. But depending on the shape of the head, like how much forehead they have, how less of forehead have, it depends on like how much rooting space it is. So like his rooting space of where he needs hair is not as big, but I could take a baby head. Who was it that I rooted recently that had a head that was about this size? So you'll have another baby head, measurement is about the same, but they'll have more rooting space. I don't know how to explain it, but it just, and that's why it seemed like it will take longer. And you're like, oh, it's not gonna take that long, and then you start rooting, it's like, oh my gosh. Or you think it's gonna take you longer, but their head might be big, but most of it is like their forehead, or you know, it just depends on how it's shaped and stuff. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I've rooted one of these before, and so I think I should be able to do it in a timely fashion. But I have too many other babies to root. So he is like pretty much like, he feels like he's my lightest baby in the nursery. Like he doesn't have weight to him. I don't know how that works, but he doesn't have a lot of weight to him. Now my daughter came and she picked him up and she said he does, but I think maybe because all my other babies are so heavy that when I pick him up, he just feels like paper. Like, now after you hold him a while, of course, you start to feel the weight, a little bit of weight, but I don't know. But nevertheless, I just love him. I need to change his clothes, but I just love him in this little outfit so much. Oh my gosh. I just haven't been able to take him out of it. That's the crazy thing. I've just been enjoying him in this. So, yeah, some babies I just like looking at. Like, I'll have him just laying. Just laying. Oh my goodness. He's a beautiful sculpt. He's a beautiful sculpt. Beautiful, beautiful sculpt. So, really enjoy him. I really, it's like, that's my thing right now. That's why I was like, I know exactly how I want my collection to look. And so I'm like, I'm really like wanting to be very specific in the babies that I paint for myself and keep for myself. Because it's like, you know how we like, oh, I need a sleeper, I need a wake, I need a bigger baby, I need a little baby. So it's kind of that type of vibe with me right now. It's like I'm trying to get one of this and one of that, and I want this and I want this look and that look. And yeah. So anyway, I'm saying a whole bunch of nothing. These are his little feet. Yeah, well, not little feet. He has long, skinny little feet. Yes, yes, yes. So he is a sentimental baby. He does have armatures in his ankles and in his knee. That's, yeah. He has armatures in just his elbow, not in his wrist or anything, but just in his elbow, and then he has them in his leg, so that it keeps some type of structure. It just holds the bend so that it just don't like fall all over the place. And then like the little foot, let me see, let me show you, like his little foot will bend. It'll be like, oh, you can. And I don't play with their armatures like that a whole lot, but for posing purposes, it can work in your favor. Like when you're taking pictures, I think the armatures, that's, for me, that's why I really actually want the armatures a lot of times. Like I feel like some babies don't really need armatures. Like this baby wouldn't really need armatures just because of sculpting. And it's, you know, it's a beautiful sculpt and it's sculpted realistic. Here, take this out. But it's only just for like pictures, like for me posing, or display purposes. Sorry guys, I don't know why he got little strands of hair. Cause it'll hold like the little poses and stuff better. And then like when you you want it to stay like in a certain space. But look at this, oh my gosh, so cute. I love these babies. I'm telling you, this is the best hobby. I'm so hyped out about this hobby these days. Like if somebody would have told me 10-15 years ago that I would be like so hooked on these babies, I would have been like, you're right. I'm lying, because I waited my whole life to be able to afford to buy a realistic doll, but I didn't know it was going to get like this. And then every year they're just evolving and evolving and evolving. This is what it's about for me. Like I know a lot of people may think, you know, otherwise, but this is what it's about for me. And you know, another thing, like when I'm sitting here and I'm competing with myself and trying to get better with each baby, it's not, I love you guys, don't be offended, please don't get stuck on the bubble gum here about what I'm about to say. But when I try to get better with my painting and my rooting and stuff like that, it's not about you guys, it's all about me. I want the ultimate baby for me. So I started painting for me, but if I can extend that to everybody else, it's great. But I paint for me. And that's why, like, as desperate as I may get sometime, and you'll see me start selling babies that's already in my collection, that's because I don't want to get to a point where I feel like I have to take customs, because every single baby that I paint, I want to paint it for me, to my liking, and then present it. And then, you know, it does make it more hard for me because I'm not painting, like someone else will come in and say, I want this baby, you know, with brown skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair. And that might not be my thing, right? Of course, it's not my thing. I absolutely do not particularly care for light color eyes in my black babies, but there are exceptions to the rule where I do like it, but for me, I'm typically no. But when someone would come in and tell me to do that, and I would do it. So of course, when the baby is completed, I don't form no type of attachment, or I'm not like, oh, I'm in love, you know. I will say when I did the redhead with the green eyes, I was like, okay, this right here, like, okay, this right here, this is nice. But it also was part, I actually had vision, wanted to do. I've always wanted a redhead and a very light complexion baby in my collection. So I still painted that baby to my liking. But let's just say, you know, with customs, people be coming up with some crazy stuff. So I'm like, okay, I do that. it's easier for me to be like, okay, baby's done. Here is your baby. When I paint for myself, and that's why you'll see me like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to get this one, get rid of this one. It's because I'm painting it to my liking, and then it's like harder to let it go. But at the same time, at least I know that I did it out of love, and I painted something that I would want in my collection, if that makes sense. My grandma used to always say, like, don't give away nothing you wouldn't want. You know what I mean? Like, throw that in the trash. You give away things that you can no longer use or you got more of, but don't give something away that you wouldn't use, you wouldn't want. Like, and when she say that, it's like trash. You know what I mean? Like, it's damaged. You know, I wouldn't give another person, child, some faded out, worn out clothes, knowing that they were just play clothes for my child, and they really was one step away from just shredding and throwing it in the trash or something like that. And so that's always my theory. Anyway, everything goes back to my teaching and what my grandmother taught me, because I love my grandma. I do, and I value her teachings and her beliefs and everything that she instilled in me. But y'all didn't ask me that. Y'all don't ask me a lot of stuff, but I be still telling y'all, don't I? This baby looks so peaceful right here. Now, and this is the thing, like, he might not be my heavy baby or anything, but I still love him all the same. And I'll tell you, I love his little belly button. This, I love this. It's so cute. I love it. I love the sculpting in his torso. I love this baby. Claire has a very particular way of sculpting her babies. She does, hands down, probably the best torsos. And when I say torso, that means like the body area. I could go through all the sculptors and tell you what I feel like, where their strong parts is, and what I love. For me, I always loved Lillian Breedville legs. I thought she always did the most beautiful newborny legs. I also like Lillian Breedville's hands, but sometimes they're too balloony, too big. The proportions are a little bit off, but otherwise they're actually beautifully sculpted. It's just sometimes they're just like out of place a little bit. But I think who else? I think like Joanna K does really cute faces a lot of times. Romy Stridham actually used to. I haven't seen her work in years since I unfollowed her. But she does, she used to do the most beautiful baby faces, and they look more African American than any other sculptor, to me. So I always loved her faces back in the day. And she always had the Huggies booty, the diaper booty, like the commercial baby booty. And that was, you know, always really cute, look realistic to me. Then who else? I really love Selena Saxon's appeal of her baby, but the stuck to one side, neck stiff, turned in a fixed position to one side, that you can never change that baby. Just don't be like, I'll be like, oh no, I couldn't do that. I can't do, I really don't like super stiff babies. I really don't. And then fixed in one place where the neck just the head doesn't turn at all is crazy to me. Especially in today's time. But I think the realism in her babies are amazing. So if you're a collector that like do glass shelves and display only, I think that would be like a beautiful sculpt. Trying to think who else. Lorna actually, for me, I think, she hasn't really changed up her style in the last 15 years that I've been in the industry. I haven't been in here that long, I don't think, but I don't know, maybe 13, 14 years or something like that. But her babies kind of all like look pretty much similar or the same, but I think that she has another style of ethnic babies, the sculpting itself. I wish that she sold blanks, but a lot of times people don't do that. Again, another sculptor that sculpts like beautiful for silicone is Laura Tuzaras. But she doesn't sell blanks. And so there's that. So yeah, there's a lot of different sculpts out here and sculptors and stuff like that. Some people, they might sell blanks, but it's getting to a place where I think there's so much competition out here with painting nowadays because everybody's teaching everybody to be a painter. So they're basically putting their own stuff out of business, but that's their business. And there is, it's so much competition when it comes to the painting aspect of things. So now I feel like a lot of sculptors are like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm not going to put my sculpts out there because especially if they know that their sculpting is very realistic, the only thing that can separate their work from everybody else is that you may be able to put a beautiful paint job on this baby, but you don't have the sculpting. So I think a lot of sculptors that know that they have their sculpting is their strong suit, they take that off the table so they don't have that competition in that area. So it's still like, I got something that you can't get somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like painting for all of us. They can go somewhere else and get something else. Like, people can go and buy somewhere cheaper, or, it's always somewhere cheaper. They're always, you know what I mean? So, but if they hold that, so I think that's a thing. For me, another thing that limits access, or for me to be able to like paint even more variety of babies, is the pores as well too. A lot of people don't realize how important the pores are. We don't give them enough credit. The people that does the casting and stuff is very important, because the way that baby is casted, the way that it moves, the way that it flows, of course sculpting plays a part in that as well. They have to sculpt to work with the casting, but the casting is important in that in the silicone, the base, the color. If it's translucent, it's a no-go for me, especially painting AA. Maybe with Caucasian you can get away with that, but you can't have a baby with this many layers on a translucent pour, because it's going to stand off and it becomes to look more dirty, and it doesn't look realistic in person. It may photograph fine, and that's another thing. A lot of babies will photograph better, but in person it's going to look fake. And so, or airbrushed and stuff like that. So the pores are very important, and that eliminates a lot for me. Like if I know that they pour translucent or in a really crazy color, I'm like, I won't touch it. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and try different pours and different things now, so that I can offer a variety of faces and stuff like that. And I don't claim to be the best painter. Like, you got to keep in mind, I am like self-taught. I am like not been painting as long as people think I've been painting, because I've been on YouTube for 10-12 years, but I have not been painting all that time. And even when I first started painting silicone, there was a huge gap where I stopped painting silicone and went back to painting vinyl, and a lot of people miss that. So I haven't been painting extremely long, but I've been painting long enough. But that's where other things come into play. Like, people spend their money with who they want to spend their money with. I see, because like I'm particular. I'm not going to support certain sculptors based off of just some of the things that they've done. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into that. But then, you know, it's like it's very, you know, it can be very limited. But you have to appreciate your customers. And that's why I say the customers, you have to really appreciate your customers, because they have so many people to choose from these days. Like, they can go anywhere. They really can just go anywhere. It's everybody and their mama is painting now, silicone. Like, so many people are painting silicone. So many people are reborning. The market is so saturated. In a way, it's kind of good for the consumers because the prices have came down a little bit on silicone, and it does hinder you from going too far up because it's so many options for your customers. So, and if you don't have something unique or special, they're gonna pass you over, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So there's that. But anyway, loves, I am gonna get off of here. I gotta go. Getting ready to celebrate with my mom for her birthday. So, yeah. It was good sitting down having a chat with you guys, but I will talk to you guys later. I'm thinking I should upload this video maybe next week. So when you guys see this, it'll be a couple days later. But thanks guys again for watching. And this is baby Zinde. For all that don't know, he is my personal baby. He is a forever baby. He will never be available. And I can promise you that he's actually... he is so much that he will never be available. Like, I would sell Phoebe first, and you guys know Phoebe is never available. So that, just FYI. So please, please, please don't even waste your energy about messaging me about him, because he's not going to be for sale. I don't share him as often. Some of my, if you notice, like some of my like forever ever babies, you don't really see them as often. Like, you don't see Nori as often. You don't see Phoebe often. You don't see Zende. Purpose, you're starting to see her a little bit more, and you'll see Purpose a little bit more only because was the prototype. So I still like to, you know, put it out there every now and then in case somebody want to go and, you know, purchase one from the sculptor. But you won't see those babies as often. They're just personal babies, and I just be enjoying them in my own private you know, time. But you'll probably see some, and then sometimes you see some of them for a while, because I'm in that zone of where I just want to, that's the baby I want to hold when I'm doing a video. Like, I want to have the time to hold that baby. And so that's that. This baby, honestly, and I know this sounds a little crazy, I love him, but honestly, I don't get that, because he don't have the weight. That's how I know that it's the weight that pulls me in. He doesn't have that that heavy weight, so it doesn't give me that sweet baby like type. Purpose is heavier. Now this sumo wrestler, ooh, it's a heavy baby. But, you know, it's just the feel, that heavy feel, it just does something. It like take down like the anxiety or something. I don't know what it is, but it's something about the weight of the doll that does something. It adds a little something extra. Anyway, I would be on here another 30 minutes if I pick that baby up. Talk to you guys later. Bye.